class, and welcome to our second math lab of the year, where we're going to be learning or visualizing how to simplify expressions with algebra tiles. So the first thing that you need for this activity is you will need a lab sheet like this, you will need a partner, and you will also need a bag of manipulatives and also a yellow, green, and red coloring utensil. So go ahead and get those out now. Manipulatives bags, you're going to see 4 different types of manipulatives. The first thing you're going to see is a rectangular green, a rectangular red, a square yellow, and a square red. Now, for the sake of this, you need to know that green rectangles always represent a positive variable, or x. The red rectangles will always represent the negative variable, x. Any positive numbers will be signified by the yellow squares, and any negative numbers will be represented by the red squares. So at this time, I want you to go ahead and color in your key based on the colors that I've just said below. And it should look like this when you're done. All right, now here's how we're going to go about solving these problems. I'm going to start by kind of illustrating how we're going to solve the problems virtually. So now I'm going to switch over to a website version of Algebra tiles so that you can kind of see how we are going to use these tiles to simplify expressions. So I know that there's a lot going on the screen right now, but what I want you to do is focus on this expression that we have here. So step 1 is we're going to use the tiles to model this expression, okay? Keep in mind that our positive x's are going to be green rectangles, and our negative x's are going to be red rectangles. Our positive numbers are signified by yellow square, and negative numbers are the red square. So our expression that we have now is 4x minus 2x. And remember, when we're combining like terms and we're setting this up, we would first start with our 4x. So that 4 is positive, so I'm going to go 1, 2x, 3x, 4x. And as you can see, it showed right here what that's going to look like. All right. It says minus 2x. So remember what I said. We're going to look at the sign that's in front of the 2 and it's negative, which is the same thing as minus. So I'm going to drag over 2 of my negative x's. And as you can see, it represents this. Okay. Now my step 2 is to combine like terms to simplify the expression. So that means that if I have a negative and if I have a positive put together, they're going to cancel each other out. So I'm going to bring this to the side. I'm going to put my negative and my positive together, and they're going to cancel out. I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to put another negative and positive together, and they're going to cancel out. So my final answer is that the simplified version of this expression is 2x because I'm left with 2x. Okay, now we're going to pause, and we're going to see what this looks like with the algebra tiles. So same problem, we have 4x minus 2x. So I'm going to start by putting down my positive x's, my positive x tiles, which are green rectangles. I'm going to do 4 of those, and it says minus 2x, so I'm going to put down 2 negative x's. Okay. Notice that I don't have any plain numbers, so that's why I'm not using any squares for this problem. Now, I have to combine like terms, and remember that negative and a positive together both cancel each other out. So this is a negative and a positive, they cancel each other out. This is another negative and positive 0 pair, so they cancel each other out. And so I am left with 2x as my answer. And so that's going to be my answer, 2x. Okay? Now that you kind of see how we're going to do this, let's go ahead and pull out our math lab sheet, and I'm going to do the first problem with you and kind of show you how we're going to set that up. All right, just as a general overview, the instructions say that you need to complete the following lab with a partner using the algebra tiles. You're going to sketch out each problem in the space below after you've kind of modeled with the algebra tiles. Watch this video for complete instructions. So here are your 2 tips that you need to remember. Like I've already said, we need to remember to combine like terms, okay? And that is in M terms, okay? And also we need to remember that a positive and a negative of the same terms can cancel each other out, okay? So with that being said, let's slide on over to our first problem, which is 2x plus 3 plus 3x. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to model on the side what that's going to look like. So 2x, I know that that is positive. So I'm going to start by having my 2 rectangles, okay? And you can line those up however you want to line them. And actually, I'm going to kind of shift this over so we can kind of see a little clearer, okay? So that's my 2x. Then it says plus 3. So that means I need 3 of these yellow squares. I'm going to grab some more from my bag. All right, 3 of these yellow squares. All right, then it says plus 3x. So I need 3 more rectangles, 3 more green rectangles, okay? All right, so zoom out a little bit so we can see what we got here. Now, this is my problem. I've represented this 2x plus 3 plus 3x. Now I'm going to combine like terms. What looks alike here? I have 2 x's up here and 3 right here, and I can combine those to be what? All that put together is going to be how many x's? How many positive x's? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to model that by drawing out my 5 rectangles that I've already combined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can color those green. I just happen to have a purple pen on hand. And then I have my 3 yellow squares, which I am going to kind of color in yellow. And I can go ahead and color these in green because that just makes more sense. Okay. Now, what's my final simplified answer going to be? How many x's do I have? How many positive x's do I have? I have 5x plus just a regular 3. So my simplified answer is going to be 5x plus 3. And that's exactly how I would model it. And I would also sketch it on here once I've modeled it, okay? Now we're going to do number 2 together, and it may look a little different, but I will take you through it step by step. Here we go. First thing that we should notice with this particular problem is that we have a number beside a parentheses. As I've already stated, this means that we are going to distribute the outside number to every situation in the parentheses. So I'm going to rewrite my problem distributing before I actually solve with the algebra tile. So I know that this is the same thing as 2 times negative 2x, and 2 times negative 2x is going to give me negative 4x. This is also the same thing as 2 times positive 4, which is going to be plus 8, and then I'm just going to bring over my plus x. Now that I've rewritten my problem, I can go ahead and set it up with my algebra tiles. So that means I need 4 negative x's, 8 positive number squares, and 1 positive x. So pull those out, and they should look like this. Now that you have taken out your manipulatives, let's check together. We should have 4 negative x's. That's going to represent negative 4x plus 8 positive yellow squares plus a positive x. Now that we have our manipulatives out, we need to combine like terms, and also remember that a negative and positive of the same terms cancel each other out. Keep in mind that this square is not the same as a rectangle. So since they don't look alike, we cannot combine these and cancel them out. But we can cancel out the x rectangles. I see a positive and I see a negative, and that creates a 0 pair. of x's, so we can take that out. That's as far as we can go. Now we can count up what we have left, and we can see that we have negative 3x plus 8. Now, how will we model that here? Let's take a look. I have basically drawn out the situation that I had here on my actual space, which is what I expect you to do. And I'm going to model that once it's time for me to combine like terms. I'm going to recognize that I have a negative x and a positive x, and those will create a zero pair and cancel out, which is why I drag these off, and that will leave me with 3x, negative 3x plus 8. So that is going to be my final answer, negative 3x plus 8. Okay. Now what I want you to do with your partner is I want you to go through each problem. I need for you to first model with the algebra tiles, draw it out below, and then demonstrate your answer and how you have canceled things out, and then finally circle your final expression. This is what I will be looking for in the completion of this activity. So you can complete the front and the back. When you get to the back, you can, if you so choose, go ahead and recolor in your key so that you have that. The same key that we use in the front will apply in the back. So hopefully this will help you all be able to visualize how to simplify expressions and combining like terms. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.